Warning: Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
What it do, family and friends? Welcome back to the Church of Black Power. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please hit that link in the description. Go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. And with that being said, family, one of Kamala Harris' cronies has come out, went on CNN, and basically said Joe Biden should get out of the way. You know, he should just retire and allow Kamala Harris to become the 47th president. So we're going to go ahead and play the clip, and then we're going to go over it.
Trump taking the oath of office. What is the most important thing that everybody is looking for? That is my question. I'll start with you.
Joe Biden has been a phenomenal president. He's lived up to so many of the promises he's made. There's one promise left that he could fulfill, being a transitional figure. He could resign the presidency in the next 30 days, make Kamala Harris the president of the United States.
Whoa.
It would absolve her from being able to from having to oversee the January 6th transition, right, of her own defeat. And it would make sure that it would dominate the news at a point where Democrats have to learn drama and transparency and doing things that the public want to see is a time. This is the moment for us to change the entire perspective of how Democrats operate.
This has now jumped from an internet meme to a Sunday morning show.
Jamal's out here right now for the
Congratulations.
season of House of Cards.
I thought you were going to say, what about the Supreme Court? That's also out there.
Well, the Supreme Court might happen. I don't know if it will, but I think this is something that's in Joe Biden's control. And if he did it, it would fulfill his last promise. It would give Kamala Harris the chance to be the 47th president of the United States of America. It would disrupt all of Donald Trump's paraphernalia, right? He'd have to rebrand everything. But and it would make it easier for the next woman who runs for president to not have to worry about all the historical, weight of being the first. We can
Top
solve
that,
the problem.
Brad.
I have something that's a lot more realistic. There are 7 Americans right now in dungeons in Gaza. If Hamas does not have them walking and talking on American soil before Donald Trump is president, they will have hell to pay. And I'm looking for that to happen in the next 70 days.
So we're gonna play it again, family, and I'm gonna chop it down. It's just a lot to unpack there. Even though it seems like a little bit, there is a lot being said there. So let's get into it.
Trump taking the oath of office. What is the most important thing that everybody is looking for? That is my question. I'll start with you.
Joe Biden has been a phenomenal president. He's lived up to so many of the promises he's made. There's one promise left that he could fulfill, being a transitional figure.
So one, he starts off, of course, he's glazing for no reason because everybody knows that Biden was not a terrific president. And nothing that he did was good for Americans. Now, it might have been good for illegals. It might have been good for Ukraine. It might have been good for Israel. It might have been good for Asians. It might have been good for Native Americans. It might have been good just for all non-black Americans. And what did he promise and what did he keep? Because he didn't promise anything, and the stuff that he really shouldn't have promised that he did promise, like the oversight committee, the House Oversight Committee and things like that, he broke all of those. So I'm wondering, what does he mean when he's saying, oh yeah, he can keep one more promise, and that's being a transitional president.
Resign the presidency in the next 30 days, make Kamala Harris the president of the United States.
Whoa.
It would absolve her
Wow.
from being able to from having to oversee the January 6th transition, right, of her own defeat.
He do know that Donald Trump would still become president on January 6th, right? It wouldn't change anything. She would still have to transition. And she would have to shake his hand and walk away from the White House. That wouldn't change.
And it would make sure that it would dominate the news at a point where Democrats have to learn drama and transparency and doing things that the public want to see is the time. This is the moment for us to change the entire perspective of how Democrats
Okay, this
operate.
is now jumped from an internet meme to a Sunday morning show.
Jamal.
He wants the Democrats to learn about drama. Then he says he wants them to be able to do what the public want to see. Nobody wants to see that. And it's evident by the full, damn near fully read map from the election. Nobody wants Kamala Harris to be president. But yet, they're sending out these cronies to try to put this narrative into the mainstream. And you know what happened last time they did that with Biden? Biden said he wasn't going to drop out until they pressured him to drop out. Then when he dropped out, he damn near tanked Kamala Harris's election campaign for her. So nobody wants to see her become president.
This is the moment for us to change the entire perspective of how Democrats
Okay, this
operate.
is now jumped from an internet meme to a Sunday morning show.
Jamal's out here right now. It's a
Congratulations.
season of House of Cards.
I thought you were going to say, what about the Supreme Court? That's also out there.
Well, the Supreme Court might happen. I don't know if it...
Notice, family, they're laughing at this man. His idea was so ridiculous that everybody on the panel laughed at him. Dude said Jamal's out here living in a real life episode of House of Cards. That was a dig at him. It wasn't some playful banter. That's how ridiculous what he said was.
want to see is the time. This is the moment for us to change the entire perspective of how Democrats
Okay, this
operate.
is now jumped from an internet meme to a Sunday morning show.
Jamal's out here right now. It's a
Congratulations.
season of House of Cards.
I thought you were going to say, what about the Supreme Court? That's also out there.
Well, the Supreme Court might happen. I don't know if it will, but I think this is something that's in Joe Biden's control. And if he did it, it would, again, it would fulfill his last promise. It would give Kamala Harris the chance to be the 47th president of the United States of America. It would disrupt all of Donald Trump's paraphernalia, right? He'd have to rebrand everything. But she would, and it would make it easier for the next woman who runs for president to not have to worry about all the historical, weight of being the first. We can
Top
solve
that,
the problem
Brad.
in the
I
next
have
30
something
days.
that's a lot more realistic.
Family. This is the nonsense that they're out here trying to push after this woman then already lost. She lost. In the words of KG, get over it. This man is literally running around here. Literally running around here trying to convince people that Joe Biden should step down and let Kamala Harris become the 47th president. And that way she could still be the first black woman to be president. And she's not black. That way there won't have to be this worrisome about the first woman president. This is the nonsense that they're going around spewing, family. All because their candidate lost. And they can't get over it. They can't get past it. And what do you think, family? Let me know. Do you think Joe Biden is just gonna find it in his heart to say, you know what, let me step down and elevate this woman? This man was running around here. Literally, he was her worst enemy. Well, second, her worst enemy was herself. But come on. Biden was very bad for her campaign. So do you think that he's going to find it in his heart? Do you think that his wife is going to allow him to do that? No. I don't think Jill is going to be. No. I think she would, just to spite Kamala Harris, even if Biden was to die in his sleep, I think that she would weekend it at Bernie's, this whole situation, just to keep Kamala Harris out of office, just to spite Kamala Harris. But here's the thing, though. Now that this man is running around here saying things like that, don't be surprised if, Biden passes away in his sleep or something like that. Because he ain't just coming out here speaking on his own accord. Oh, no. The DNC gave him this talking point to bring. Trust me when I say. Because they're trying to gauge the reaction of what he's saying. Reaction from what he's saying. But no, family. I do not think that Joe Biden should step down by any means whatsoever. And what do you think she's going to be able to do in the few weeks that's left anyway? Any law that she passes is have to be an executive order. She can't convince Congress to do anything. So it'll have to be through executive order. And then Trump would just overturn those executive orders when he gets into office. So even if she was to make several executive orders granting citizenship to all of these illegals, Trump would just overturn it. And he has that power. And while they're over here trying to convince Biden to step down, Biden actually met with Trump today. Let's check that out.
Donald, congratulations. Thank you. And looking forward to having like we said, a smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today. So
good.
Welcome
Thank you
back.
very much. And thank you very much. And politics is tough. And it's, in many cases, not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today. And I appreciate it very much. And a transition that's so smooth, it'll be as smooth as it can get. And I very much appreciate that, Jim.
You're welcome.
Yes, that scene was cordial. The brief pleasantries were pleasant, I guess, polite, but I do think it is worth underscoring. The reason that this scene and this image is so striking is because these two men have no relationship to speak of. This is not President George W. Bush welcoming the Obamas to the White House. This is not Bill Clinton welcoming W. Bush to the White House. You look back on those images and the footage, and there is some real warmth there. There is no actual warmth, despite the fire, between those two men. We've talked about the many ways in which President Trump has talked in denigrating ways about President Biden. Biden, too, throughout the course of this campaign, referring to this person as a fascist, as a total threat to the country. And now, on top of that, he is having to say the words, "welcome back," to a man who single-handedly actually could completely alter, and probably already has altered, his political legacy. The fact that he believed that he needed to seek a second term and then was forced out of the race, and then the vice president that he endorsed didn't end up winning. I mean, that is going to be sort of the lead sentence probably of anything that is ever written about President Biden. And here they are now just sitting a couple of feet away from each other, and he is having to say the words, "welcome back."
Family, If you didn't catch my last video, make sure you go and catch it. But I said in my last video, I wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump and Joe Biden make a deal with each other to pardon each other. And that way, Trump starts off fresh. He has no felonies, no issues or anything for anyone to complain about. And then Joe Biden, when the inevitable charges are brought up on him, he won't have anything to worry about. You see, white supremacy get on code with white supremacy. That's what happens. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. And that's why I also know for a fact that Biden isn't going to step down. He's going to hold that office as long as he can, and he's going to put as much into it as he can so that he can feel like he did what he needed to keep and elevate the system of white supremacy. Hell, if he was to step down now, I think that it will haunt him in his dreams. You elevated a colored. Ooh. So no, I don't think that he would step down. And I do think that Trump and Biden are being cordial with each other because they're trying to make deals with each other right about now. And I'm pretty sure that deal has to do with, dropping all cases, whether on Trump or whether on Biden. Go ahead, give that executive pardon. So yeah, family, I just wanted to bring you this information. I wanted to let you know about this so-called black dude. I don't know where he from, but Jamal, go have a seat, have several seats, because you sound dumb. And no, the people don't want Kamala Harris. And no, Biden shouldn't step down to fulfill his last quote-unquote promise. If Kamala was meant to be president, she would have won the election. Both of them. Yeah, that's right. Not just this last one, but the one in 2019 as well. She wouldn't have had to drop out to be the vice president if she was meant to be president, if she was what America wanted. But this is the nonsense that they bring to us, family. But with that being said, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you hit that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please make sure you hit that link in the description. Go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. We're going to see a lot more ignorance from here to January 6th. And to be honest with you, it's going to get more and more, I want to say insane as we go along. But I don't think insane is the proper word for this. I think it's going to be outlandishly third. Let's just go with that. It's going to get more and more third as it goes along. But with that being said, family, the doors of the church are now closed. Peace, family.